Okay, it shows we're live. Can you all hear us now? I hear you, I hear you.
Hey, that's good.
Buffering. Stop randomly pushing the dang buttons. I know, Paul, but I'm trying to make a button that'll work.
Can you hear us now? Hopefully.
Sound and visual. Okay, well, for whatever reason, it's not showing up on my phone.
Okay, but we're good. You guys can hear us? That's all that matters.
Right?
Yes?
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, we
Good
got
Lord.
it.
I don't know why you have so much difficulty.
Well, it's because I forget to put your phone in airplane mode, so when you get notifications or anything else that comes up when you're trying to do this from a phone,
Yeah.
it ends up
Oh, sorry. Say hi,
muting
Jenna.
the phone itself.
Do you want some homemade French toast?
Alright.
Oh, I just want to go to bed.
Oh, Paul says, do not get peed enough to use a skillet on the back of the producer's head. Alright, so I'm not well trained enough to do this, but hey, at least it stayed horizontal. Stop. Calm
Yeah,
down with
she's
the water.
awful.
She hasn't been down here yet before we started the live, so she's got to get her normal wildness out of her. So, but good morning, everybody. Now that you can hear us, so that's awesome. And all right, so big waves in here with Bound. There's Deborah. There's Paul. Let's see, David Glunt was in. Oh, there's Muriel. Yeah, so we're gonna
Yeah, Jenna,
have.
just go ahead and put your clothes in there, and I'll start it after the live because it's too loud.
Yeah. Y'all are gonna get the normal morning
Yeah,
chaos.
this is just our morning
Well,
normal
yeah.
chaos.
These have to go in.
Toss it in. I don't like the pods, but if you want to use the pods, that's fine.
Oh, the lighting is good. I
Just
know.
set it down,
We
Jenna.
don't have any blinds or curtains or nothing on anything because, well, we live in the woods and, well, what are the squirrels going to laugh at us when we're running around? But we have noticed, especially for in here when she's going to want to start filming more of the cooking is, yeah, we're probably going to have to install some blinds so that we can.
Well, no, I have actually an idea. What?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay. I love
Or
you.
go sit down and do nothing for.
I'll do your laundry.
I'm just
Yeah.
exhausted.
That's fine. I know you're working overtime.
There's Cat V. Hey, Cat. Go ahead
Hello,
and
hello.
make it in.
But no, I have this really cool idea that I'm going to make for when I start doing the filming for the cookbook, where I'm gonna get some like wooden planks that will mill them, or I'm not sure, and I'm just gonna make kind of an insert that will go over this window, so I can just like pop it in, and it'll have our logo on it and stuff, and that way I'm not getting this backlight. This is the culprit. So, and then maybe.
Well, except for
blinds
morning
it.
time, then the slider is the culprit because
Yeah.
this is facing to the east, so the sun comes up and blares in here. And we kind of did, well, we did it on purpose, so that the morning sun would, come in, and especially in the winter months when it's much colder. Careful when you go running around outside. Them squirrels will be looking to add to their. Oh, I know. I keep my protector dog with me so that she can chase all them mean, evil squirrels away.
I thought you were on airplane mode. Why am I still getting?
I don't know why you're still getting notifications. Technology only does what it wants to do, guys. I can't help it.
But yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
There's Auntie Ann.
Something
coming
to
in.
add
All right.
to the backdrop. Yeah, she's driving me nuts. To like cover this up, but also kind of give a nice wooden backdrop for us when we're filming for the cookbook.
Wow, we got some other Ridge guests in here. By
Aw,
the name
say it
of
ain't so.
Mr. Tim.
Say
What's
it
up,
ain't so.
brother?
Hey Tim.
Yeah, so in case, I don't know if the volume was working when she had said it, so we had some of her homemade bread left. And yeah, we're having some French toast.
Well, he's having French toast. I prefer to do protein in the morning. If I start off with carbs, it's just a no bueno. No bueno for me.
Yeah, airplane mode does not stop all notifications, obviously, but at least maybe it'll keep it where it's not gonna mute us again. I keep checking. Yeah, we still got some volume, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so gonna do that, and then you got the mixer out. What else are you gonna be doing?
So I am going to be mixing up some sourdough pizza crust because I've been craving pizza. I did have one mediocre one yesterday when we were over in West Plains, but not good enough. Not good enough.
Oh boy, some things are happening over there on that ridge.
Yeah.
I got the secret squirrel text.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
So, then along with the sourdough pizza crust, I'm also going to be starting a quart of fermented peppers, garlic, and onions for hot sauce. So I'll get that done up. I've got to prep some trays for the freeze dryer because Ryan and Jess had like a freezer full of peppers they didn't want, and I'm like, I'm your gal. So they sent all those, brought all those over, and so I'm gonna get those freeze dried, prepped on the trays, and then once they're freeze dried, I can pulverize them into a powder which I just add it to everything. So I do have quite a few chores in the kitchen, and I'm like, let's just go live for that because, well, we haven't done it in a while and it's unhinged, and why not?
Well, and it's a twofer, right? If we go live, then we don't have to go back and edit it, and then you guys just get whatever.
Well, I don't edit coffee chats anyway, but.
Well, but you don't have to take it to the computer and upload and.
Right.
Like, it just makes things all way gooder, like this French toast is fixing to be. Yeah, Tim, that looks awesome. Said hi to Andy. And there's Big Dreams, so that means Courtney's in here. Clara Herr, good morning, Clara. Need some peanut butter on that French toast. It's the bomb. I've had it that way. It was always funny growing up as a kid. A lot of the family had all their different ways of wanting their pancakes or their French toast, and a lot of my family actually does. They prefer peanut butter on it.
I'm not one of those.
My mom never liked. I think sometimes she would do the peanut butter, but her thing was always, whether it was pancakes or French toast, was just sprinkle sugar on it. No syrup, no nothing. Can't eat. Oh yeah, Kath, don't worry, I'm with you right there. That's why she has to make a lot of the hot stuff into powders, or
Yeah.
she makes two separates because I can't do the spicy stuff either.
And I am actually out of my own hot sauce. It's sold out of the farm stand. I did not reserve any for myself. So, actually brought this home from Mid-America because Mike and Terry are like, we're just, I'm like, hey, okay. It's actually a really good hot sauce. So I may try to like recreate this, which is why I'm also making a batch of fermented hot sauce this time.
Ma'am, I appreciate you, but I need a fork.
I gave you I didn't.
No, you didn't give me no fork.
Sorry, right there.
Yes, this is gonna be delicious. Let me give you all that up close visual right there. Homemade bread French toast. Oh yeah,
It's my Amish roll.
I'm gonna put a hurting on this. Remember, hit that thumbs up. Yeah, if y'all could. I mean, my thumbs are busy with a fork and a phone, so I did it before I even got on the live. Gave ourselves a little pat on the back.
The other thing is, I'm actually going to be prepping part of my supper. Because yesterday I couldn't decide if I wanted wings or a pizza. And I'm still craving wings. Well, while we were in Tennessee and we did our side-by-side vacation with my best friend, we went to the prison. What was that called?
Brushy Mountain.
Yeah, Brushy Mountain Prison. And they had a spicy Bloody Mary mix. And I'm like, I like my spicy Bloody Marys, especially when we're on a cruise.
Well, because part of it, so... Whoa. Hold up, lady. There's only one of me. Part of the prison, because they do it as a tour now, but also they turned it into a... they've got a distillery.
Yeah.
That works there, and so they distill their own liquor, and we had to make sure Which the nice thing was they have you can do some samples, you know, because nothing worse than buying a bottle of something and getting it home and realizing this tastes like garbage and I don't want to eat it. So
Yeah, but I tasted it and I'm like, boy, that's really good as a Bloody Mary. And I also bought their distilled vodka. And so I made a Bloody Mary the other night. And yeah, it's a little much. Because it's more like a barbecue sauce. It's very, I bought their hottest. They're feisty and spicy. And I'm like, this would make a great wing sauce. So I pulled some wings from the freezer from the last time we butchered. And those are kind of defrosting. I'll run them through the air fryer, get them kind of browned up a little bit.
yeah.
Add them to the crock pot. And why not? It's everything I would love in a wing sauce. So I am going to make wings. I don't know what I'm going to make for you for supper.
I might try one. It'll be one of those that I have found if it's kind of spicy like that with wings. If I use like blue cheese or some ranch, kind of knocks it down a little bit. So Laura and Ollie's on here said they're going to
Hey
listen.
guys!
They're packing up to leave tomorrow.
Well, I think she did tell me they were going to be. I don't remember the entirety.
Going on a trip there that sold on RB Life. So let me go through this. Cass says, now I'm hungry. Don't usually eat breakfast. I never ate breakfast until her and I got together because I was always just jump and go and I didn't ever feel like making it or anything like that. There's Nancy Simpson.
What?
Guys, do not talk about that homemade bread. I'm so jealous.
And what doesn't sell, I always put in the freezer. And actually, I'm about ready to pull all of the excess breads and make croutons. What did I make that took? Oh, when I made my homemade sloppy joe, I used breadcrumbs. It was goat sloppy joe. Sloppy joe. Sloppy Joe.
There's Helen over at Shiloh saying Frank's regular is as spicy as I can go.
Weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm almost out of croutons because I make my own croutons. And I think I only have 1 quart left of croutons. So I need to purge all the breads out of the freezers and get them diced up. The only one I'm not sure about making into croutons is my my Hawaiian rolls, my sourdough Hawaiian rolls. I don't know if I would like that sweetness and that coconut in a crouton. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking it's a no.
I don't know. So yeah, but I've got that going on. But first off, it was breakfast.
Well, Kat B coming in, she thank you for that. Became a member to the Percolators. Guys, we almost kind of forgot and thought about the fact that we had memberships open because we didn't really push a lot of it on Unhinged. And
I forgot that.
Kath is a member now, so thank you, Kath. Appreciate that.
Is she our first member? I think she's our first member.
Might be. I don't remember because we, like I said, until I just seen that pop up, I'm like, what? Welcome to. Oh yeah, we did open up memberships.
That means she would be. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she's our only member, our first member.
Yeah.
Which means you share with Jonesy the accolades of being, because he's our White Rock Homestead first member. So yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you.
Paul said something well, wow, them poor flies, Tara pulling all their wings, just swat them. Oh, talking about wings with instead of chicken wings, he was talking about flies, yeah.
Well, I think they're my chicken wings. There's a possibility that they might be rabbit legs. But I'm pretty sure, because I only wrote wings on the bag.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they're chicken.
So, Big Wave's asking, when y'all do the loop, are you going to buy meat along the way? So the idea is no. But just like we don't plan on having to buy, now the main staple stuff, right? Like if we want dairy, we're going to have to buy that because it only stays so long. Mm-hmm. Granted, we could buy a bunch of milk and freeze dry it ahead of time, but it's not the same.
No, at that point,
For
I
baking,
would just order in like a
big
jar or big can of the
a lot of the meat
powdered milk.
We are gonna have freeze dried. We've tested that with a couple different things now, and
Chicken does amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, part of me pulling these peppers because everything's slowed down with the harvests, and so I went up and I picked peppers this morning, and you can do a fermented hot sauce with both frozen and fresh. You've got to do both, and at least 20% of fresh because when you freeze peppers, it kills the lactobacterial, I don't know, some chemistry thing, and I wasn't good at chemistry.
science happens.
Yes. And so I got to mix that in with fresh produce. And so I have some of our fresh garlic from the garden. And anyway, as I started to say that, the idea is I'm working my way through the freezer in the summer kitchen. I don't even know what all's in there. I'm just going to start pulling them out. That's what's going to consist of our meals over this next month. It's going to give me an opportunity to, like, say it's just like chicken thighs or whatever. I can season that up however I want. I already have tons of taco chicken meat freeze dried. So anytime we want chicken tacos, chicken nachos, whatever it may be, I just reconstitute it. And I had to make sure I turn the stove off. I tend to forget that. But you reconstitute it, right there's our protein source. If we want steak, that will have to be fresh. It's not saying you can't freeze dry steak. I know some people have tried it. It's just not good reconstituted. Steak is a pleasure to eat. So you would not want it. And when you eat a steak, there's so many things combined with it. You can't freeze dry fat very well, a high content fat. Even with some cheeses, some of my Alfredo, like this last batch we ran, I had made homemade chicken Alfredo bow tie pasta. And of course I make my own sauces. And I had to run the freeze dryer extra long, and then it'll still give just a little bit of greasy texture. So what they say is it's still fine, it just may not last 25 years. I don't care if it lasts 25 years. I need it to last like 5. So high fat content stuff, you really can't freeze dry. So
Jamie made it in at Aurora.
yeah, the other thing you can do is you can also freeze dry lunch meat. So I actually still have Ryan and Jess's slicer, and we just bought 3 horns of meat at an Amish shop. And so I can go through and I can slice those and I can freeze dry those. You just can't let them get crunched. So those may have to go in like a jar. Regular lunch meat, if it's thinly sliced, you just roll it up, lay it out on the tray, you can freeze dry it, and it reconstitutes like normal with like you use a spray bottle for water. So the answer to your question is, will we have to buy meat on the loop? Some. But all the sausage and everything, like I just ran, I think I ended up with 36 or 32, I don't know. It was over 30 pounds of rabbit sausage that I made up. That's all frozen. So over this next year, I'll be frying that up. And once it's fried, I can just go right straight ahead and freeze dry it. And it's good to go. Good to go. Same way with the ground goat, ground meat, anything like that. I can cook it up, freeze dry it, and put it in a Mylar bag, and we're good to go. So short of if we want a good burger, which you can freeze dry your burger, but say we want one fresh or we want a steak, that's where we're kind of going to depend on Walmart Plus. That has been a game changer for a lot of loopers because you can pick a marina, pick a Walmart, and have your order delivered right to the marina. You're not at the mercy of you're at the mercy of crap food, but you're not at the mercy of the high prices of marina groceries. So I hope that answered that question.
So Paul says, appreciate a work partner for work-related issues. Love your cougar tater. Jamie says Kevin normally does jelly and powdered sugar on his French toast. I've seen that. Mm-hmm. They do that a lot, right? Put the fruit and powdered sugar on there.
Well, sometimes I'll make a stuffed French toast. And I'll use cream cheese, confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar, and some jam or fresh fruit in the center. Usually it's blueberries, strawberries, that kind of thing. Been a while since I made that for you. Maybe I ought to.
Nancy says, I like Hawaiian rolls any way you make them, Taro. What is one thing that you have not ever baked before?
Oh, wow. That's pretty broad, because I don't think one person can bake every single thing. I've baked quiches, but I'm not a fan of them. I don't know. I guess I'm not afraid to try anything once. And I'm old.
Kath, about the membership thing, I don't know. I'd have to go back. I'd have to go upstairs and go on the computer and look at the membership thing. You were probably, and may still be, a member of the main channel, White Rock Homestead. This one being a separate channel means different memberships. So, she was saying that she thought she was a member for 10 months. And I think on the main channel that would be correct. I don't know. I guess I need to go back and look at the memberships on here. So.
Well, I think on this
freeze-dried steak, wouldn't that be like microwaving it to cook it?
It's like White Rock Homestead meets the Jetsons. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I would like to do, and I thought about it, but I didn't know which channel to do it on, was over this next year as I do the, kind of like the, what do they call it, the backdoor access to the cookbook footage, or I don't know, doing something special for the members where you get the, what do they call that? Dang it! I just had the word. It was right on the roof of my mouth. No, that was my burrito. Back scenes or
behind the scenes.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Like
I didn't know where you were going with it. Kath says her favorite is T-bone. We're ribeye folks. Love our ribeyes. So there's Frugal Deb. Like this different view. Yeah, I appreciate that. I know a few people have talked about it, and it's been hard where we positioned it. Obviously, it's a tiny house with a tiny kitchen.
Tiny kitchen. It just looks bigger. Everyone
that
walks in is like, oh my gosh.
If you kind of notice, even the light coming through the sliding glass door is a lot of times it'll wash it out. So I was like, wait a minute, let me try this angle, and then you guys can see the work surface when she's actually doing the work. So Tim says, just decided to do a premiere of the first nail going in video at 10 a.m. So in a half an hour, Tim is going to do his premiere, guys. So I guess that tells us how long we get to jibber jabber around here.
Well, that's not fair. We were just going to go however long. I got a lot of stuff to do.
We can still do that, but Tim's going to be doing a premiere. So you guys may have to, double task yourselves. Love some freeze-dried candies.
We're just not a big fan of those.
Well, we've only done one batch, and some of this stuff worked really well and others didn't. We've got to do a couple more trials, too, because the settings, it's not just to set it, forget it, with the way that
we need to order the dongle.
Right, I was trying to get to that. Yeah, with the way ours is set up right now, the newer Harvest Right models that come out, they have Wi-Fi built into them, and then you can go in through the app and do all your preset settings that way. But ours being a little bit older model, before they did that, we actually have to buy a dongle. It's just a little USB that plugs in, and we can connect it to Wi-Fi, and then we can download the app. Until then, you got to go in and manually change the settings for the candy. And definitely discovered it's one of those that you've got to do all the same kind of same time, because
they are different.
Yeah, they take different times to be able to do it. Like, we did the Jolly Ranchers, and they came out great. And then we did a couple different versions of, like, gummy candies, like the worms, and then I think there was some
sour
rings.
What were those red sour things?
I don't remember. There was a bunch that we had kind of gotten for free, so we tried running those, and then some of those came out good, but then others didn't, so it was really weird. So we're like, yeah, we're just gonna... It was Jake leaving.
Oh, he's coming down here.
Yeah, Tim's ribeye guy too. Werther's Originals freeze-dried are great. I've heard that, and we really want to try
I do have
those.
some.
You got some Werther's?
We didn't. you know, as during the times that we were being pulled.
Oh, Tim's like, no worries, you guys keep going. Do what we gotta do. Any steak our local butcher has on sale is our favorite. Oh, that's Helen up at Shiloh. Yeah. Well, everyone, I gotta go get busy. Courtney on Big Dreams is gonna be going live soon. So she's been just getting it on her plate. So
We did not look to see who goes live, who doesn't go live.
well,
We
she
normally
does.
don't.
Courtney's always doing the working lives, guys. So
Oh, okay.
that's always fun. Skittles and Whoppers are a favorite. Yeah, the Skittles. We were worried at first because I remember having Skittles before and they blew way up. But I guess we were talking to some folks that do it, but then also reading a lot online, and evidently they changed the recipe. Obviously, right? They got to put more crazy chemicals in it.
That's a lot why I don't.
And that's why
crazy.
they don't
Yeah.
they don't blow up the way they used to. They still kind of keep a little bit of the shell in there, but they're still delicious. Cass says, I grew up eating steak like 3 times a week. Pasta. Oh, pasta being Italian, yeah, for sure. Oh, there's Greg Cozier coming in. I like ribeye. Tri-tip is a close second.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Sirloin all the way for Paul. Well, he's got to keep it where it's the less fat on there, right? Ribeye steak is the best, says Nancy. Freeze-dried potatoes work good for mashed potatoes. Yes, they do. And we plan on doing a lot. Like
What
you
was
said,
that again? I missed it.
the freeze-dried potatoes
Oh, yeah.
work great for mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And I think I have freeze dried every combination of a potato. I've done them diced. I've done them hash browns. I've done them mashed.
yeah.
As long as they're already cooked. You wouldn't want to do regular ones.
And so, good old-fashioned roast beef dinners, one of my faves, says Frugal Deb.
Is that Jake?
Hi.
It is Jake.
Well, hello. We're live, Jake.
Hi.
Well, he's not wearing khakis, folks, so he must not be from State Farm.
Not today.
And no one knew where we were yesterday, just so you know.
Okay.
That's up to you.
I had a great time.
Paul's eating
Yeah.
sirloin 6 days a week.
I mean, if you want to
Nice.
share that, you're more than welcome to.
Eh, not right now.
Okay.
I came down to grab mail and get my car. So.
Were you not here earlier? Because I was like waving at who I was up at the Pepper Plateau. I didn't even know anybody was here.
See you wave at me.
Your packages and stuff are on top of the shoe doodad with whatever mail you had.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know that we checked it yesterday, so.
okay. I'm gonna take my car with me so it's out of your guys' way,
Okay.
and because I have to work this week.
I figured as much.
Yeah, like I said, it was fine if you just moved it over, but just so that we could clear through there, because I may end up working up there at some point. I don't know. There's Hunt and Holler Ranch. Hey.
Okay.
They've been pretty like they got Jenna this morning. They got you.
Ooh, Arlene and Bo's in here.
Hi guys.
They're getting a slow start. Do you have a good recipe for fresh figs? I'm overrun with them.
No, I don't think I. Okay, somebody asked me.
I don't even
is
know
there
if I've ever
anything
ate figs.
that I've never. Yeah, no.
Fake Newton.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
fig
fig
Newtons.
Newtons.
Do those count?
I'll have to. I don't know. Was that Arlene?
Yeah.
I guess Arlene's gonna have to educate me.
Well, you're gonna have to go through. She's asking you for a recipe because she's got a ton of them, but
Nope.
we'll have to look in the old secret cookbook and see if.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, I don't know. I got nothing, Arlene. I got nothing. But
I know Jenna come down and well, she wanted to start laundry, and we're like, well, you can't start the washing machine till we're done with the live, and then she was dragging, was keeping y'all working pretty busy.
Yep.
Sweet potatoes. You should be able to freeze dry sweet potatoes.
yeah, actually I do have some sweet potatoes already freeze dried from last Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, when we did Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
everything we ate on it for a couple days, and then it was like, hey, before it goes bad, let's throw it in here.
Yeah.
Fig jam. Could imagine that would be. Really
I'm
good.
making up some pizza crust. So
All I
they'll be
can
ready
think
by
about now
Friday.
is it's not a cookie.
Saturday.
It's a fig
Right.
Newton.
We'll see
Yeah,
how everything goes, because
right.
yeah, So,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I'm not gonna make. I'll probably just make enough for 4.
We still have frozen ones too.
Ugh. No, I'm joking.
They're good. Obviously, if anything happens, I'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll
Can we?
get my stuff. Sure.
Okay.
I know that much.
I don't know if they know. We're on baby watch, guys. We're on baby watch, so that's yeah.
As a matter of fact, and then Kath just says, "Are we on baby watch yet?"
Yeah.
So,
after the ordeals of yesterday and insurance and misscheduling because everything, we had a fucking day and
I had a day. Shh, can't cuss.
Excuse my French. So yeah, but
yep. So it is.
We thought we were gonna have a baby yesterday.
It's on the countdown, day to day, really, of what's going on there. But you know, loving the healthcare system and their shenanigans. What we're back and forth. You need a dropper.
Apparently, normally I'm not this precise, but as I explained in previous videos, with me doing the cookbook this year, I've been trying to like be more precise. Because if I'm going to be sharing, because you guys know I'm a tosser and a thrower. Jake will tell you his whole life he never got 2 of the same batches of potato soup with ribbles.
Oh, I was going to say, is that why Jake's the way he is? He got tossed and throwed?
Yeah.
Probably.
Pretty much.
Dropped a few times.
Yeah. But I'm trying to be more accurate so that I can tweak my own recipes before I get to everyone else's.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna get my stuff. I'll check the mailbox and grab whatever's mine out because I should have had some packages yesterday.
Okey-doke.
I already smell like a Whopper with extra onions, and I'm sweating. It's hot in here.
Oh, Paul says, Jake, that was not French. That's definitely annoyed English, Jake. Prayers all goes well.
Yeah.
You're probably running on exhaustion and tears at this point.
It's been that way for a while now.
Ooh, Arlene says,
Hi.
Yeah, so.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, Jake. Have fun, get some rest.
Take care.
Love you.
Love you too.
So Arlene says, yeah, I make fig jam and thinking about fig bread or a fig cobbler. May try fig pepper jam.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
What is that?
this is my Amish yeast
Oh.
because we found an Amish store, and so I was actually I've got another yeast jar full.
Smells like yeast. Okay.
I know it, right? And way super cheaper. Way.
Oh, when we went to on our trip the other day,
Uh-huh.
I was like, when did we go to an Amish? But now I know. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know who Jake is, but hello, Jake. Nancy, Jake is our son.
Yeah.
He's our oldest that lives here on the property. He was gonna build a house or a little cabin or something, but they bought a house trailer and have been working on redoing that. So, and our other one of our other daughters, Jenna, lives here too. That's who
She was
popped in
the one that
earlier.
right at the beginning.
Yeah, and but they both work third shifts, so like they're just getting off work and getting ready
Plus,
to.
Jenna worked overtime. She worked all weekend.
Paul says his mom used to make a big pie when they were kids. Yep. And okay.
So in
Paul
case you're
just
wondering, I'll give you guys a little, what do we call it,
behind the scenes.
behind the scenes. So I am making my sourdough pizza crust.
But you're in front of the scene now.
Yeah, you're in front of the scene. So in case you're following along, this won't be like the recipe video, but it'll give you a good idea. So what I've done
Ooh,
is...
yeah, we haven't tried that yet. That apple flavored zucchini.
Oh,
Hunt Holler Ranch says, yeah, the cobbler hubby just
Well,
made
you know
apple
that-
flavored crisp with zucchini.
that
and
Therm
it's so
Flow I
good.
just bought at the Amish store, I can use that. That's what I needed in that appletini.
Okay.
But I'm on the fence of whether or not I'm gonna
What's up,
plant
Midnight
more
Adventure?
zucchini plants. But anyway, I am getting my water, which is 110 grams of water, warm water, and 1 teaspoon of yeast because my sourdough is inactive. So, you double checking my work?
I was just curious. I'm like, how do you know that's a... And it says it right on it. Okay. To dry the figs, they are good to eat. Oh, just doing dried figs. Yeah, I don't
Every time
know
I
that
think
I've
of figs,
ever.
I'm like, bring me some figgy pudding.
I don't know that
I'm
I've
ready
ever
for
ate
Christmas.
just straight figs.
Okay,
Maybe.
well, this is blooming.
So is that gonna like do stuff like science-y?
Yeah. I know you're hardly in here when I bake.
Guys, this is the only way I get to be in the kitchen when she's anywhere near it. It's just during these lives and
I'm not gonna mess with the chicken at
if
the
we
moment.
do a coffee chat or something. Other than that, I'm banished. She puts a
Well,
dog
it's a
gate
tiny-
up and everything,
it's
and it's
a-
like, stay out.
It's a tiny kitchen.
Perfect
Alright.
ways to use the bigger ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot today. We have to take the granddaughter to the doctor. She broke her arm on Saturday, so it's a
Ooh.
follow-up appointment. Oh gosh.
That's rough.
Yeah, never fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything works out over there and they don't have to do it too serious. I broke my arm. Gosh, I was first, second grade maybe. And the worst part was when you had to go in and get x-rays, right? And I broke both bones, and I mean, they were clearly broken. And get all the way to the hospital, and they have to do x-rays, and they make you put your arm out on the table like this, and they start moving it. Oh, excruciating pain. But then, of course, they can't cast it right away. They got to let some of the swelling and all that. So they did the x-rays and got it reset. But then I remember the doctor talking about, well, if this doesn't heal, then we're going to have to go in and, like, re-break it in surgery. And I'm like, whoa, time out. So I got lucky. I had it in the sling for, I don't know, whatever the standard is back then, a couple, 2-3 days. And then they were able to put the cast. But, well, what a pain in the rear it was. Because the first cast they put on was all the way up to my armpit. And I'm in grade school, like still learning to write and that kind of stuff. And it was my right arm. So then I had to learn to be ambidextrous and go with my left. But trying to sleep, right? When your arm is stuck and you can't bend or move. And so it was nice when they finally gave the short cast.
Yeah.
But she's 4 years old. That's never fun. Well, we are wishing all the best for that, so that it's heals properly and she's all good to go. We all know how a normal 4-year-old is going to go, and then to put them in a cast and say, hey, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I watched Sasser House, which is country singer Emily Ann Roberts. She's always making jam, sauces, gardening, crocheting in between concerts. Her and her husband are so funny. I don't know that I've seen that one, but Helen says I was 6 years old when I broke my right arm.
So,
Karen Shonaloo, will you be having the farm stand open through the fall, and what are your fall specials?
Yes. So as far as the farm stand goes, my thoughts were yes to run it through fall and Christmas, and close down at Christmas, and then reopen again in the spring. Depending on, but I was also hoping I would have a little bit more time I want to do some crafting. I want to do some holiday decorations. I want to do, all of those things. So if those go well, then yes, I will keep the farm stand open until Christmas. Still kind of on the fence though. The other option is I will have a end of summer, I know this sounds stupid, but I was like thinking about it one night, and I'm like, I love the customers and the friends that we've built through the farm stand. And so I want to do a customer appreciation dinner and actually set up out there with a large banquet table and cook everything, from here on the ridge, and invite all of those through the Rustic Ridge Facebook page for a customer appreciation. So not only will they get things that I can't sell because of the cottage laws in the farm stand, they could still get a taste of it on the outside. Anyway, do a free customer appreciation dinner at the end of summer, and then close the farm stand, but then do like a weekend harvest open house or whatever, to where I can close the farm stand and concentrate on getting the decor changed over, getting the stock changed over, building new stock, everything pumpkin related, harvest related, that kind of stuff. And then have, you know, a weekend open house, sell out all that stuff, and then close it back down and do a Christmas open house for like maybe 2 weekends before Christmas. So those are all big dreams. Y'all know I've got tons of dreams. I'm hoping to make it happen.
Well, yeah, and we were also kind of talking back and forth because a lot of
this weather's hurt harvest really, really bad.
well, the harvest, but then even with all the sauces and everything, like stuff that can't freeze, right? Relishes and everything that's in there, you know, do we want to put the effort into, which we do have plans to try to kind of close it up, because we've noticed even with the heat, we're probably gonna, you know, we're not gonna go as crazy as insulating it, like the walls and all that stuff, but we did decide that we're gonna have to put some sort of cooling in there, and we're gonna have to put some sort of heat in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But are we wanting to heat an uninsulated building over the winter? And the ultimate answer is no.
No.
So like being able to put products in there that, hey, if they get cold or somewhat frozen, depending on how cold it gets around here.
And we travel a lot in the winter, so, you know,
Yeah.
I can't depend on, you know, the kids are working tons of hours. Jake and Chloe have the new baby coming.
And they've got enough to worry
Yeah.
about to add another, you know, burden on there.
The one thing I'm also tossing around is whether or not I continue baking through the winter on a pre-order fulfillment option only, I guess. And then open up the farm stand for the day of pickups. So that's also an option, and I'm not ruling any of them out, and I've also not like fully decided on all of them.
Well, and this being the first year that we're doing this, there's
We're
so
learning,
yeah,
yeah.
it's all about learning on it, and
Just kind of froze a little bit.
we were kind of talking about that the other day. I think on the coffee chat was it's so hit or miss sometimes. You know, like one week she puts stuff out there and it sells up instantly and it's gone, and then the next it's like, well, now we have a bunch of leftovers. So. Trying to accommodate for some of that, you know, it's a little hard. Which, like we said, it's not a total
I'm not
loss.
mind readers.
Yeah. Well, and it's not
I
a
don't know
total
what's
loss
going
if
on.
it doesn't sell. We bring it back down to the house and it gets
Yep.
repurposed
Yep.
or used up down here. So it's not like we're just tossing the food away
Oh gosh, no! Anything that
because
gets
it's not getting
yeah.
sold.
anything that doesn't get sold is going straight into our food.
But trying to be smart with it too of putting stuff out that will sell and things that people like, but then also, you know, not. I don't really want to say wasting the time because we do get to reuse it, but keeping things also that can kind of handle with the weather a little bit. Because we noticed.
I can't put cakes with any frosting out because in 90-degree weather right now. Hello, you know. So I'm looking forward to that cooler temperatures to where things won't just melt within the first hour or two.
Right.
So
Yeah, we've just trying to watch that. I mean, I don't know. It's year one, guys. We're trying to figure out what works. When is it going to be a good time to open? And wintertime really is our big travel season. And yeah, don't want to put that extra burden on the kids. They've got enough in their own lives going on that, you know, why give them one more thing? You know, the garden will be done. As of right now, we don't have animals. We got to do some moving around.
which that's wearing real thin
Yeah.
on me. Where were we? Where were we the other day? Just yesterday. I think we were at a thrift shop and someone had chickens. Oh, we were at the restore.
Oh, and they
And
were selling.
Somebody around in the neighborhood had chickens. And it literally made my heart hurt. Because the rooster's crowing, the hens
I
are
guess I
clucking
didn't
for
hear
their
it.
eggs. Well, you didn't go outside because I told you there was nothing out there.
Cooler temps, like our 66 Fahrenheit right now.
Yeah.
Well, we've actually last couple mornings it's been pretty nice. Been getting up and it's in the low 70s, which after being in the 90s and 100s, it kind of felt kind of cool and it was nice. We sat and enjoyed our coffee on the back porch and.
So what I was just doing here, guys, is I made a humongous batch of my mama's Spanish rice. I don't know why she ever called it Spanish rice because I do make a Mexican rice that is way better for like taco nights. This in of itself is a meal on its own. And I never understood, I grew up with it. My grandma made it, you know, my mom made it, I've always made it. It's just a meal, not like a side. And so that was actually the smaller container. We've already polished off quite a bit. But what I'll do now is I just bag them up because I can pop these right out of the bags and put them on the freeze dryer trays, and they're already pre-frozen. We just grab them out when I have enough stock in the
And we
freezer.
found it's not getting freezer burnt that way because when we had, and the last thing I could probably think of was probably when we got eggs right before all the chickens got massacred, and we had a super abundance of eggs, so we could fill 5 trays in the freezer and just leave them open, let it freeze, and then run it in the freeze dryer. But when we're doing stuff like this, where she can do the individual bags where it's already pre-thinned out, because you don't want it too thick to go on the freeze dryer trays. But it can go for say a month, and after we've got enough that we're like, yep, this will fill 5 trays, then we can pull 5 trays out and go. That way because the other part is, it is a long process, right? And you're using electricity to run the freeze dryer, so to kind of.
I only run them when they're full.
Yeah. So our thing is,
Woo!
you got a little hooch on
Yeah,
there.
a bit of hooch on that, sir. There.
Yeah, so we try to do it where we're not gonna run the machine until we have 5 full trays of something, and that way it's just more efficient for us. It makes more sense.
She is hungry.
Plus, with doing all that rabbit sausage and everything else, that's part of why when she was talking earlier about going through the chest freezer that's out in the outdoor
It's
kitchen.
time. Because we filled it first.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff was filled first, and that's the meat and products that we need to use. But it also frees up freezer space, because we had talked about that yesterday as we were up in West Plains, and we ended up doing some thrifting, and we're like, hey, do we want to stop? Because the one store that we go to, the 10 box, is where we buy meat in bulk. Big pork shoulders, big ribeye roasts, and we buy it in bulk at a discounted price. And I was like, hey, we're right here, but then we had to realize we don't have, even if we got it and we process the stuff out, we don't have the freezer space to put it. So Midnight said, yeah, the granddaughter was doing flips on daddy's bed and fell off. Yeah, gotta sing that what? No monkeys jumping on the bed little song to him, right? Then so Hunt and Holler says it's been perfect sleeping temps here in New York State, windows wide open and no fans.
I can't wait for that. Sorry, I got a little
back on the road. So Courtney's on the road and listening. So
nice.
Paul says 6 minutes. Yeah, we'll see how long we go, guys. But in 6 minutes, I do want to remind you, our brother Tim is doing a premiere about putting.
We're gonna keep going. I ain't even halfway done with the stuff I gotta do.
The first nail on his place is getting built. So big things gonna be happening over at the Big Ridge. Super happy for our brother and his amazing bride to start getting that part of the process, because it's been a long, slow process of trying to get through everything that it takes to build a house, guys. It's not. We picked Arkansas so that we didn't have to deal with permits and all that kind of stuff and waiting on other people's permission. But yeah, when you're in a state that you do have to do that, man, the process can be super, super annoying and long, and can get expensive. So. It's Doug.
It's Doug.
He says hi from work. Obviously, he's not working too hard. But
Hi, son.
Good to see you, buddy.
Well, I'm making fermented hot sauce
Tim
today.
says no worries. Stay here. Watch mine later. If you're here now, love y'all. Appreciate you, Tim. But yes, Paul, thank you for
I'm just
dropping
gonna
that
keep
link.
going because
If you guys want to hit that link, and you can either dual screen it or go over to him or stay here, do what you want to do. It's always fun for those of you who might not know about the premieres, right? You get to do a premiere. I think we've only ever done one.
I know what you forgot to do. Turn off my. Oh, we can't turn the Wi-Fi off.
No, yeah, I can't turn the Wi-Fi on. Paul said you have to go into the settings on the phone and turn off individual notifications.
Well, that was Aunt Swami, so I'm sure she's giving me an update. We probably need to give you guys an update on Aunt Swami. I picked up some dollar tea the other day. Don't know how it's gonna be, but this one says peaceful, and I think I need all the peace I can get. So
Doug says I'm watching the guy in the basket, 230 feet up.
in the basket.
230 feet up.
Oh, that's part of his job.
Yeah. Yeah, Shiloh says, yeah, it's been in the 50s this morning up here. Love having my coffee out on the porch. Well, good morning, Evelyn. Evelyn Newman making it.
Hi, Evan.
Yeah, I talked to my brother for a minute this morning, but this last weekend, because yesterday was the first day of school for his kids. So they did their last minute vacation and went up to Mackinac Island. So an awesome vacation spot. Whether you live in Michigan or not, it's super cool to go up there. And so they've been up there multiple times. But as the kids get older too, right? You remember going. Sometimes when you're a kid, you remember going. But then you get to an adult and you're like, oh, I think I've been there a bunch of times. Like, I've never actually been there as an adult, and would love to go. But, so, yeah, they went up there and he had videoed me at the one point when they were up there, and yeah, they were like in hoodies. I'm like, oh, dude, must be nice. So, yeah, 230 feet up is good enough to bungee jump, right? Doug says he's going to send us a video of him last week. Emily went back to school yesterday. Yeah, I think that was the set. I know Michigan sometimes does them a little bit differently, but because of the weather, yeah, I think yesterday was most of the Michigan schools going back to school and stuff. What? Your shadow got you?
No. Whoever's in the chicken run.
Oh.
Must be my friend.
You got your friend out there hanging out. Well, I did notice too, it caught me a couple times. I kept thinking, when you sit on the couch and then there's a tree that we actually thought it was a, what's that tree?
I thought I brought a lilac tree back from Tennessee.
Yeah, and come to find out it's just an elm. So, well, I think there was lilac in it. So truth be told, there was a lilac in there.
And it was doing good, and then Jake weed whipped it.
And Jake was helping the one day, which I'm super grateful for, and he was weed whipping, and I'm like, hey dude, when you get up here, take all the weeds down, but this like bush looking thing right here is not a weed, don't, and I came back and yeah, it was whacked out.
Okay, my yeast is me.
Oh, I thought you were about to pour it in your tea. I'm like, that seems excessive.
No. So you guys, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you can without me pouring it. Your yeast gets foamy. So that's when you know it's bloomed. Miss Maya probably.
Bloomed, huh? Bloomed. We're gonna let the heathen in. Come on in, heathen. And
I normally do a much larger batch, but not knowing if it's just gonna be Jason and I, or like everyone, I'm like, yeah. So then once that is bloomed.
wait a minute, what are you making again?
Pizza dough.
Pizza dough. Okay.
Pizza dough.
I think they forgot. I knew. I was testing. It was all me, guys. I'll take the blame. I forgot what she was making.
So then 570 grams of red flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. So then now I just need to weigh out my sourdough discard. Zero that out.
How come they call it discard? Normally if you discard something, you throw it away.
Because normally you would, but I don't like to do that.
Oh.
So yeah.
I'm not reading that out loud, y'all, but that's the wrong kind, Paul.
227 grams.
Grams.
Yes.
Whatever happened to like cups and teaspoons?
I used to think the same thing, but once I started, and I've converted a lot, even my cookies that I make for the farm stand, I've converted all of those to grams. It is so much easier because I live in a repetitive brain nonstop with patterns, and then I get myself mixed up when I'm trying to count out 10 or 11 cups of flour. Like, am I on 5? Am I on 6? Am I on 4? And so it just makes it so much easier to convert it to grams, and then I don't have a repetitive counting thing. And because if anything breaks the rhythm, it's just how my brain works. Anyway, you put that in there too.
See how I can make her squirrel real quick? So David says I make tortilla wraps out of cottage cheese and eggs.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep, I've seen that too. I did that when I was keto. All right, so that's in there.
I know, Paul. Okay, fine. You know what? Seems you put all that work into it, Paul. I'll read it. Paul says, yuck. Isn't foamy yeast a sign of a yeast infection?
No. Different strain of yeast.
Oh.
All right.
Boy,
So
if that starts foaming at you, run. Run. Don't let that one foam up.
I actually need to change my jar.
Good morning, everyone, from 71 degrees in down east Maine. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, hello.
Um,
I can't wait to check out Maine when we're on the loop. That's gonna be so amazing.
Guess we're taking a side trip. Maine's not part of it.
Aren't we going up that way if we do the
We cut it.
Canada?
No,
What I come over here for? See what I mean?
I don't know.
Oh, I was looking to see if I had any of my.
I would like to at some point, yes, be able to boat and get all the way up there and stuff. And whether we do it while we're on the loop or whatever, but it is not typically, no, we turn off and go through New York.
Apparently, I don't have any more wide mouths in here. And I need that one wide mouth for the peppers.
There's Ida Martin coming in. Good morning.
Hi, Ida.
And something from Walmart's getting delivered today. Doug, Holly did send that video to my phone, but clearly I'm using it for comments, so I'll have to check that out. I hope you can get up here. Well worth it.
I'm just
yes,
going to let this dry, and it will actually crust over and dry, and then I can flick it off and freeze it.
Leave it to Doug to notice that, yes, there's a Bloody Mary mix on the end of the island.
Doug! Dude, I'm making wings. That's what I'm making next. Using this feisty and spicy margarita mix. Hang tight. I'm
Nancy
getting
says, yeah, it's 71 degrees up there in Michigan. What part of Michigan you in, Nancy?
That was more discard than I thought. I might actually have to discard.
Paul says it's 64 over there right now.
Unless I make bagels. Where are
Doug-
we sitting at with frozen bagels?
Doug says, I need that. The frozen
I want to
bagels?
bake all day and then tomorrow.
I don't know.
Alright.
Just split it into two.
Well, I'm actually going to have to add more.
Why are you adding more? You measured it out
Because
in
it's
your
too dry.
grams.
I know. This is my problem because I sit here and I can tell by the consistency already it's not enough. You want it a very hydrated dough.
Isn't that a super duper quiet mixer, y'all? She's running it and I don't even barely hear the
Yes,
thing going.
this is my Zacny commercial blender. If one of our mods wants to drop the link, the link is in my original White Rock Homestead review of the Zacny. Right now I think they're actually running a special. But man, I love this thing.
Through New York, Hunt Holler is just off I-81. Well, when we come through there, guys, we're going to be on a boat.
Yeah. So we're not going to be paying for Ubers to go visit everybody, although we'd love to.
Well, they were talking about they've got hookups, electric and stuff, but yeah, we're not traveling in the RV. When we do that trip, the Great Loop, that's actually, we're going to be in a boat, traveling the waterways. And you can do the entire thing without never having to pull your boat out. So,
Yep.
Gonna be a great time. We're still looking and shopping and dreaming and making
We've
the
had a lot
plans
of
and all that kind of
people
stuff.
reaching out with links and stuff to boats.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, and we are shopping too. I'm always shopping, but I digress. At this point in time, we can't afford to buy a boat right now, so it's window shopping. Like the only boat we'd be interested in now is if someone said, "Hey," and it did happen. Another guy we watched just picked up a free boat. But unless somebody said, "Hey, I inherited this boat or I have this boat, I don't use this boat. You guys want to look at the boat? You can have it for free." That's the only kind of boat we'd be interested in today's world. Because
Well,
we
but
have
there's
a
a-
year
there's-
of saving.
Yeah, there's a trick
to
to
do.
some of those, right? Them free boats, they don't end up, they haven't even been able to fire up the motors and like they're trying to get it back to there, which is really fun, right? I mean, it's still part of it. And, you know, when you're looking at trying to buy a boat on a budget, there's times that you're going to have to do a bunch of work to it. But yeah, what was that for?
My spatula flipped out on accident when I went to put pressure.
Can I have a...
He's covered.
I got covered in sourdough
Discard.
Catch on the St. Lawrence. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be fun because we're obviously...
Oh, I did get you covered, didn't I?
You got it all over the floor, but it was all over me
Yeah,
and the countertop.
it happens.
And, yeah, we're going to be filming the whole time we're doing that, and it'll be a thing that, you know, hey, well...
White Rock Homestead will probably switch over to Hillbilly Loopers.
Well, I don't know how much of a live feed necessarily of being able to track where we're at. There's some options through
Patreon, I think.
Well, Patreon, yes, but I'm saying even outside of that, there's a couple options that I got to do some more research on that you can basically be tracked on your whole route. You know, like I can go on the actual loop app. Babe, you have it on your chest even. So I'm going to be looking into that because that would be kind of cool too. And then as we're going through the river system, if there's, you know, if we know, hey, we're going to be, we can kind of put word out of, hey, we're going to this port or wherever, we're going to be in this area for maybe a couple days. If people, you know, kind of throw a post out and be like, hey, we're going to be here, we can do a little, we've got time to do a meet and greet and stuff like that. So, absolutely. Evelyn says, yeah, lucky y'all. It's already 85 degrees here in my high mountain desert in New Mexico. But it's desert, Evelyn. Desert heat is so much cooler, they said. Yeah, live in the desert and tell me how much cooler 100 degrees is. But, that's the thing, is it's a dry heat. But it's a dry heat. It's totally fine. You still sweat, and it's still hot. It is different, right? I will give it that. Like, it is different, but it's still hot. Just looked, and it's 71 here in our area as well, an hour west of Port Huron. Yeah, so Michigan's up in the 71. I didn't even ask my brother. I'd asked because he did call this morning, and day 2, and he'd already. I said, well, which one of the kids had to go to the principal's office on the first day? And he's like, well, none of them, but I had to go today, and he forgot to give his one son some meds, so he had to run him back in there. Tara, Evelyn says, Tara, we need to talk. Our biggest lake is drying up. The amount of boats going up for sale is crazy. It's just a ways for y'all to drive. Yes, and actually, Evelyn, out in your area, this couple
That's
we were
what
talking about
Yeah.
is they're not far from out there, and that was kind of the thing was when they were getting that boat towed. The lake was down like over 120 some feet.
Lake Mead.
No, the one they were on, it wasn't Lake
No.
Mead, but so that lake, all those desert lakes that are out on the west coast, yeah, they're drying up because they're not getting all the rain and all that, and of course more people tapping into the lakes for water source and whatnot. So, yeah, that was their thing. Was one, it was the lake they got the boat on was further. It was a couple hours away as to where they had one closer to them. But
Long story short, they're $8,000 in and moving the boat already.
Yeah,
We've
looked into.
The boat we buy is going to be on Michigan.
Yeah, we're
Florida.
we're preferring a boat that's already in the route of the loop, just for the ease of it. Because what we're looking at is something that's going to be wider than what I can just hook to my truck and tow it down the road. You know, it's more than likely going to be over 10 feet wide, which means then you've got to get permits and a hauling company and all that kind of stuff. And then when you start looking at going west coast, which we haven't 100% ruled out, right? What kind of adventure would that be? Is if we found one that was in decent enough shape, if we got it on the west coast, and then the first part of our trip is taking it via the waterways, which is a much longer route because you got to go all the way down to the Panama Canal and come back up.
Which there is, they call it the Big U, I think.
Yeah.
So once we're done with the loop, if we wanted to continue water life, there are other really big adventures.
Monroe County. Okay, Nancy. Sounds fun. We're familiar with Alex Bay area and have a friend with a cottage along the river too. It's beautiful. Yeah, that'd be awesome to be able to hook up. Like I said, we that's what's going to be fun, and we've already talked to like even our family and a lot of our friends and stuff that we have, and they're like, what are we going to do? You guys are going to be gone for a year and a half. And we're like, pick a spot, right? We can go spend a day or two.
Or if we're close to a port that's
Take
close
them-
to an airport, we'll fly home. It's not that big of a deal. Or we'll rent a car for a week and come home. It's not like our family.
This
won't
lake
see
is
us.
Elephant Butte. It's about 2.5 hours from me. Sadly, the Rio Grande is dry here, and it feeds the lake. Yeah, that is something
That's so sad.
we've been seeing a lot of that. That's why I said like we've been kind of eyeballing the West Coast a little bit, only because there are a lot of people with a lot of those big lakes or what used to be big lakes, right? And now they're drying up, and they're getting rid of their boats like super cheap, but. We have one of two options. We either pay a crazy amount of money and have it hauled out here by a semi, or
And then we gotta get it hauled to the Mississippi.
yeah, or we have to drive it down around, go through the Panama Canal, and come back up. Which we're not opposed to a trip like that, but
But in today's atmosphere, I think I'm gonna steer clear of the Panama Canal for a while.
well, we'll still clear of it until November when we go down there on the cruise.
Well, that's different. We're gonna be on the cruise.
But yes, so we've kind of looked in that, but our idea is something along the Great American Loop route. So Mississippi, Tennessee, down to the Gulf, around Florida, and then coming up the entire East Coast up to New York,
area,
and then cut across New York, go back over to the Great Lakes. So, and ideally, just because we know we're going to be looking for an older boat, the freshwater boats do hold up better. So we're kind of looking at that to where they ideally have less corrosion. The salt water hasn't ate them up. We're going to be taking it in salt water, but it'll be getting a full flush and that kind of stuff when it comes out of it. So,
Yep.
but yeah, so but always up for the adventure, and that's something that we talked about.
Gross. I just wore meat. Now I gotta make
Maybe after we're done with the loop itself, that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Is we want to get the loop done, and then make the decision of, you know, do we sell the boat to get something bigger? Do we sell the boat just because we don't want to be in the water anymore, or do we keep it and then, along with doing the loop, maybe doing some other stuff? Because like I said, we found out there's a loop called the Big U, which starts all the way up in Alaska. You would start in Alaska, come down the whole west coast, go down to the Panama Canal, and basically you take it from Alaska, you go down the route you can go and go all the way up to Maine. And we're like, ooh, that would be, but we would definitely need probably a more substantial boat than what we're going to do the loop on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna have to get cleaned out now.
Well, I mean, I just bleached it a little bit.
Thank you, Evelyn. Yeah, appreciate that, everybody. And then
I'm pretty sure it's just freezer water, but I don't want to take the chance. So.
right. Oh, I thought that bag was in there, and I'm like, babe, if you think the bag's leaking, why'd you spray it with bleach? But then I realized it wasn't. She put the bag of wings over here on the table. Who's the one not paying attention? Me. There's a bar in Alex Bay that serves a PB&J burger. Highly recommend. Really? So it's got peanut butter and jelly on a hamburger, or is it? I like PB&J, and I like hamburgers, so.
Try not to hit the camera. Hey, you got it.
Made it. Yeah, and that's going to be part of it too, is being able to go. I look forward most to fresh seafood going along the East Coast. Granted, we've kind of talked about that a little bit, is I'm not buying a fishing license to cover every single state that's...
But there's some places, just like Arkansas, that does free weekends.
Yeah.
We don't know what they are, but the AGLCA.
But when
has
you
that.
get on the East Coast, right, going up the East Coast, you can go to a lot of the fishermen markets and stuff. And because you're not having a middleman, it's not shipped and it's fresh that day caught, you can get in there and get some amazing fresh seafood. So.
It's chicken.
I was going to say, according to that skin on it, it's chicken.
Yeah, it's chicken.
Well, I don't know why you would have labeled rabbit as wings.
Because I did. I got thighs, wings, because, in the moment, I'm like, oh, I'll remember.
Here, free fishing is on Father's Day.
Yeah, so there's some times when we'll be able to cast out and be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look into them, but right now my plan is when we get down to Florida, I'll end up buying, or we'll both get it. We'll get the out-of-state fishing license to go around Florida because we will be spending quite a bit of time between the Gulf and.
Well, how does that
around.
work? Like, say we go 5 miles out, or whatever the intercoast,
Well, if you get out far enough into international water,
right, then you wouldn't need. But I don't know if I'm brave enough.
But
to
if
go
you're
that
bringing
far.
that fish back, which we would be bringing it back in, you still have to be licensed to do that.
Gotcha.
And at this point, there's no point on the route that we're going to be going that far out from shore.
Right.
So that really wouldn't be effective anyways.
Can you get my Instapot down, please?
So Florida's one state that we'd end up getting a license in, and then Michigan, because going all the Great Lakes, we're going to spend a lot of time in and around there, so it would make sense to do there. I'm gonna reach up here and get this big old bag. There you go.
Oh, I wouldn't have needed that big a one. I'd rather have my small one. I'm not pressure cooking. I'm only slow
She
cooking.
didn't
But
say that to begin
well,
with.
Jenna took my crock pot. So,
Then get it back.
well, I think technically that one was hers anyway. It's either hers or Jake's. I don't know.
No, Jake had the red one. We found the black one and brought it here. And that one was ours. What, are you going outside? You go out, he's coming in. We don't know. Revolving door for the animals. That thing
I
just-
think one of my biggest challenges on the loop as far as like the kitchen goes, and granted we are taking a lot of freeze-dried stuff, so prepping won't be a thing. But I think for me, it's going to be difficult for the baking, which we are going to be taking our solar oven. So next time we go to the storage unit, I want to get that because I got to get it cleaned. But
I'm pretty sure that's out in the garage.
really,
I think so.
really, I want it because I can mount that on one of the decks of the boat. Even if I want to make bread, brownies, cakes, whatever, I just whip up the batter in the morning. I probably are not going to be able to bring the Zacme. But if I just have my regular mixer all hand-made.
How will that work with, so, because I don't know, right? Like, I know when she's doing breads and you're baking bread, right? You don't want to, like, that's not the day to jackhammer your foundation. Vibrations and walking heavy in the house. So how's that going to work on a boat?
I haven't a clue. I guess we're going to find out. Which you guys will find out with us, because.
So they said, yeah, you will add peanut butter to all dips you make at home. I do anyways, barbecue style. You have to look into that. And then Evelyn says, yeah, check into the military fishing license. You can get one for all 50 states.
Hey! I like that
I
idea.
might need to look into that because I know individual states have some, like Texas. If you're a veteran and you can show proof via, military ID or a DD-214, they do offer it up where you get like a free hunting and fishing license annually down there. So yeah, there's some more research I'm going to go into, especially with the military side. But I'm going to have to look into. I don't know that I've heard of one that goes for all 50 states, but if that's a thing, I'm in.
Heck yeah. I mean,
so
I don't have to fish. I can just cook it for them. Because we both know I can fillet a fish better.
Nobody likes a bragger. So Helen says we were visiting Rob's uncle and came across an 82 Albin 36 trawler. It was so
Albans
cool.
are one of my higher on the market.
Then I came home and
choices.
looked up the price. $44.9 is what they wanted. Really, that's if
too
it's in
much
good
fast.
shape, that's a really good price. It's more than what we're looking to spend.
Our boat needs to be around 15 to 20 on the max. Preferably with my budget, the way I have it set up, and the money we're going to be able to try to save. I have allocated this much to boat, this much to repairs, this much for emergency backup fund, this much for incidentals. So we've got to keep the boat costs alone under 15. And not only that, we're the hillbilly loopers. I'm doing this on a budget, guys.
Yeah, we're trying to do this as low budget as possible. I mean, it is a boat, right? And it does stand for bust out another 1,000. So we get that, we're well aware, but it's still save where you can. That's the whole idea of doing the freeze drying with the food. So you're air frying the wings and then gonna put them in the
Yeah.
doodad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's asking, you or?
Me.
Oh.
I was just like, I thought you were about to dump that bag in there, and then I'm like, why are you air frying some, but then you're gonna put some in? Like,
I'm just going to air fry them, get them a little crispy.
I'm catching up because I think everybody else probably knows what the heck you're doing, but I don't. How many beds and heads are you looking for?
Aft cabin.
Yeah, we
Definitely an aft cabin.
we prefer an aft cabin. We want the walk around. Not crazy about doing a V-berth, just because when you're on it for that long, having to crawl over one another to get in and out of bed, and we want that extra room. I mean,
all
really, it
food
only needs to be
storage.
one bedroom.
Yeah.
But what we've been looking at is a lot of them because when you do
It's like
go
a
with
bottle. I
even
might
the
keep this
even when you're going with the aft cabin style boats, is they're typically a 2-bedroom, and they have like either 2 baths or 1.5 bath or something.
They're a head. They're called a head.
Right. But, yeah. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're kind of looking at it, and honestly, having a second berth, a second bedroom,
Stateroom.
is
I've been working on my nautical.
well, it's birthing.
vocabulary.
It's birthing also. So, but having 2 staterooms or 2 bedrooms, right? Let's just use layman terms here. Having 2 of them does allow us, because we've talked about that, is hey, if there's a part of the trip that people wanna, we might have some guests that reach out and say, hey, we won't mind floating from here to there, or go out for a day, and then also, especially because we're gonna spend quite a bit of time in and around Michigan, is being able to take kids, grandkids, that kind of stuff. I mean, ultimately, we'll use it for storage mainly, because we are going to be taking a lot of the freeze-dried foods with us. So we'll end up using it, because a lot of them are like a bunk style. And that'll be just a great built-in shelving area that we can store all of our extra food in. So there's Anson. I was like, there's IFF Legacy. Yeah, we know that. Ivy's Family Factotum, guys.
Hi guys.
Got Anson and I'd say the fam, but kids should be in school, so he ain't dealing with them. What folks don't know what bunk room or bulkheads means, right? Yeah, bulkheads, that's all your walls, right? And then
Headliner is your roof.
the bunks and
And it's not a closet, it's a locker. It's not a toilet, it's a head.
and Gladys is doing homeschool. Oh, well, awesome. So learning is occurring on the Ivy's homestead. That's awesome. They got a lot moving and grooving. I can't even keep up with everything he's got going on. Absolutely, Evelyn, appreciate it. We always appreciate everybody looking out, trying to find stuff for us, because yeah, when you're local, I mean, she'll change up her thing on Marketplace of different areas, but
I searched the entire loop.
yeah, it's kind of one of those that until you're doing something, like right when you're wanting to go in and do something else, until you're in that area or you're in that community, right? Once we get a boat and we're in there, we're gonna find a ton of them, probably dirt cheap, and be like, really, where was that deal? But you don't know until you're in that network or that community of folks as to where the good deals are, right? And word of mouth is always a great way. Is you just get talking to different people. Yeah, super excited about this. I know we talk about it a lot, but it's
It's our
super
life now.
exciting for us,
This
and
is our goal for the next year, so.
giving us a dead set goal. That was the big thing that we needed
See,
to
it's
do.
got suction cups on the bottom so it doesn't jiggle and wiggle around.
Yeah, but I don't even remember what I was saying. You caught me off with the jiggling and wiggling. I had to say it. Paul was thinking it. But yeah, once you get into that community or that thing, then you always end up finding better deals, right? Ask me how I know. Go buy a car, and then you think you get a great deal on it, and you drive down the road and you see one $5,000 cheaper, in better shape, and you're like, well, where was that?
Like, I guess on our bucket list, we know that it's got to be aft cabin. That's the bathroom has to have a separate shower from. I don't want a wet shower, which is where the toilet is in the shower. I don't want that.
Yeah, the whole wet head thing where it's all like, no, we want a separate standalone shower.
I prefer a sun deck for solar in my garden, in the smallest footprint possible. We're not too worried about cosmetics unless there's termites or rot, because we can fix all of it. He can do a lot of engine work, preferably diesel over gas,
Get out.
because there are parts of the loop where it's hard to find fuel, like when you're crossing the 10-ton, I think it's around the Paducah, Kentucky area, where you got to go 200 and some miles. Don't quote me on that, but that's something like it. And yeah, so I definitely want to do that.
Anson said, "Oh, they got the RV back. That's awesome.
Good deal.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing when you say, hey, feel free to visit and help us rebuild it. That's not fun.
Yep.
I mean, coming to visit y'all is fun, absolutely, but having to rebuild an RV, that's never fun." Helen says, "Yeah, there's a lot of nice ones popping up for under 20K around our area." Yeah, and the thing is, like, especially up north, like, you know, where Helen and them are in Michigan, a lot of the boats are going to start going on sale. Because really, Labor Day weekend's coming up, and that's kind of like the end of summer for everyone up there. So they start pulling their boats out, and when they do that, then they're on the toss-up of, hey,
do I pay marina
right?
winter?
Do I pay to dry storage this, or do I just sell it and then buy? You know, so there probably is a lot of really good deals on them right now, and
we know that, but you know what? Next year there will be too. We're just not in a position to buy a boat. Like I said, we would make a special trip or whatever to check out, you know, a free boat. Because they are out there. There's a lot of listings for free boats.
Nancy says that, I agree, Tara, and besides, if anything goes wrong with your boat, Jason can fix it. It must be awesome to have a husband that can fix it.
It is. I ain't gonna lie. It's nice.
It is. It's nice having that ability. I mean, sometimes I get aggravated because I'm like, oh, why do I have to know about this, right? But in the long run, it's what allows us to be able to live the way that we live. Even here on the homestead is with both of our abilities. I mean, this is not store-bought chicken that she's bringing out. It's chicken that
we raised,
and then with her amazing skills of being able to cook everything in the kitchen, guess what? She knows how to cut it up and prep it and know, you know, what we're going to cook. So it saves so much money.
And we're taking all of those principles on the loop with us.
And, you know, one of the things, especially with boating, right? Because, you know, RVing is a lot like it, but you're on land and, you know, hey, you can always call a tow truck and do that kind of stuff. Boating, you might not necessarily be in a situation where it's not that simple and not that easy, right? And it's way more expensive to get towed or something like that on the water than it is on land. And so having the ability to be able to know, and I'm not a professional on any of it by any means, guys. It's just I know enough, and I've always been mechanically inclined my whole life, and understanding how something works. And so with the boat, the nice thing is I'm going to go through, and we're going to go through. There's going to be some stuff like I'm going to teach and show her, you know, how
I want to go through captain's
how a lot of the systems work and whatnot, because you know, it doesn't need to be just me that knows, you know, how it works. It's not to say that she's going to go down there, but it also helps with conversations when I say, hey, this, and this, and at a minimum, she'll at least know what I'm talking about and have an idea of it. So, yeah, Evelyn says, I also know there's a limit on height and draft, so I'm also keeping that in mind. Yeah, Anson says, shoot me everything you're looking out for, and I'll keep my eye on our area. Absolutely, buddy. I'll get you some specs of stuff that we're looking for there.
Yes, I love bleach.
I'm on the Book of Old Face Market daily, always window shopping, right?
I am too, and I know Jamie at her work sent me a really cool boat somewhere over there, and yes, it was a Blue Water Coastal. That is my dream boat, a Blue Water Coastal. It's not our budget's dream. So it was a really cool boat, but it would cost us way too much. We're talking like $20,000 to get that boat from the west side of Arkansas to the Mississippi, and that's just not reasonable. So we are looking for a boat that's either on the hard, at a marina on the loop, or already in the water on the loop. That way it's one less expense.
Yeah, Helen says, yeah, I don't think Rob's uncle took his more than twice this year. They just spent the weekends on it. And honestly, I've heard and seen that a lot with the folks in the last couple years, especially this year, because it was so hot, and people were just like, unless your boat has air conditioning, you know, they're like, hey, we can't just go out and hang out, because even then, you know, it's like taking a hairdryer and blowing it in your face. Doug's back. He had to do crane things.
He may actually work.
So yeah, Anson says when y'all get to North Carolina for a stop, then check out Bach Marine and look for Stealaway. This is my Uncle Billy. Yeah, and I actually was following them for quite a bit. I think I still have them on the Facebook or whatever for Stealaway. They were doing it. They got a huge boat.
That garlic bulb I pulled.
Yeah, so it's going to be super fun to be able to do that, meet some new people, or at least get to meet some people for the first time that are along that route that we haven't been able to meet up with before. And of course, just being on the water. That's I think the biggest thing that we look forward to right now is just being on the water. We were watching it the other day, and it was like,
That's all I got today on harvest.
we were kind of sitting here, and we're like, man, it's just so hot and muggy that we went out. We tried to work a little bit, and it was like, this is miserable. And came inside, and I'm like, at least when we're on the loop,
Jump in the water.
if it's a hot, muggy day that we're not doing a travel, like for whatever reason we're kind of moored out somewhere, we can just jump in the water and cool off a little bit.
Well, we will have AC.
The boat itself's gonna have air conditioning, but
Like we said on the One Coffee Chat, this whole next year, all collaborations will be taken with the loop in consideration. So whether that's 12 volt AC units, like all of the different things, batteries, solar, time savers, like.
well, the biggest thing though too, not only for our comfort, for like having heat and air conditioning on the boat.
What am I doing?
I don't know. You were like.
That's my scraps.
It's better for the boat. I mean, imagine you got to get yourself organized here. That's honestly a big killer of a lot of boats is the fact that you use it for the summer, you put it up for the winter, and when they store it, it's building up all that humidity and moisture, and if there's no ventilation in it, it just molds. And then it starts to rot away, and campers are much the same.
And that
right?
happened, we even had our tour bus. When we had our tour bus, we paid to have it in covered storage. It was in a big old warehouse. Oh, the mold growth. Holy cow.
Yeah.
When we went to sell it, we spent an entire day and probably $200 in paper towels, anti-mold products, like scrubbing every square inch, which sucked because the dude was going to be gutting it. But I just couldn't, in good faith, sell our tour bus when there was like this haze.
And that's why even with the camper we have now, when like right now, which actually I do need to go open a window. I typically when we get it home,
hot.
I don't know.
I think they're really hot. Oh yeah.
Take a little piece and dab it on your lips and watch everybody laugh at you going, ooh.
And that's the delayed response one. Was that the right top? I don't know if it was the right top.
But yeah, I'll crack a window. We've got some of the windows that you can have open that won't let the rain in, but it lets it keep it aired out, because if not, when I kept it closed up all the way, you'd go in and it'd be like musty almost, because the heat changes, especially like this time of year where, which I was running the AC constant in it just for that reason, and then we got the light bill and I'm like, okay, we got to cut this down. Anson said, the Stealaway. It was a full steel, double John Deere engine boat, fun to work on. Something like that would be awesome. I mean, we don't want to go too big and too giant.
No, because we have to pay dock fees.
Yeah.
And that's usually based on the length of your boat. So I want to stay, literally, like I think what I've been looking at, the smallest boats with an aft cabin are going to be around the 34 mark. So I think that's going to end up what's going to be our smallest boat that we're going to be able to accommodate, but I don't want to go much bigger than that. The other boats I've been looking at are the River Queen houseboats. The River Queen houseboats are actually made along with the Blue Waters.
Emma Morton made it in and she says hi.
Hi. The River Queen houseboats are made with a deep V-hole bottom. So the bottom.
They're like a barge bottom almost, but they have a V-hull in the front. It's not a total flat.
Yeah, so it cuts through the wake a lot easier. It makes it more stable on the water. So that kind of houseboat would be the only houseboat that I would be interested in.
Yeah. Because there's a couple big water crossings that we're going to have to do. And, you know, because a lot of people are like, well, hey, you've got your pontoon. Why don't you just build a cabin on a pontoon? And it's not to say it can't be done. There's plenty of people that have done the entire thing on a pontoon and, you know, modified it with a cabin. But it's the big water crossings that, you know, we've been out in water that has been pretty rough in a boat built for that, and it's still rough. And I wouldn't want to be in the pontoon and all of a sudden a random storm pop up on us because that can cause a whole lot of troubles. And so definitely want something more kind of a V bottom or that's where they talk with the trawlers too. Is they're called displacement boats, where a lot of their weight, they sit down and they don't really get on top of the water as a weight, but they actually just cut through the
your way
water.
a little more.
No,
Sorry. Don't touch it. I bleached it. You're gonna.
all I did was touch the glass.
I know, but there's bacteria on the glass. Working in a small space here, guys.
Let's see. Helen says, yeah, my cousin and I still have renting a houseboat on our bucket list for a week. We looked into doing that around here because the lakes are pretty big and they have some
Holy
house.
expensive.
Yeah, they're proud of renting them houseboats. Which I mean, a lot of them.
On Norris Lake.
Yeah, a lot of them. You know, they hold up to like 10 or 12 people, right? So I guess if you had 8 to 10 people to help split the cost with, but then you better really like them because you're stuck on a boat.
Yeah.
We were wanting to do it. Hey, just the two of us. Let's go. You know, have an adventure. Unless you live in a desert, you're gonna have mold issues with items just sitting around, gonna get wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
With everywhere they're going, they just anchor out and use a dinghy to head in. 0 dock fees in most places have anchor loop.
Yep, that's what we're gonna look to do.
And that's, for the loop you want a triple pontoon at least if you're using
It won't
that
be a
style.
pontoon.
Yeah, we're not doing it on the pontoon.
I've been on Lake Michigan
Um,
in a boat made for Lake Michigan, and no, that was scary. We almost died. The two
We've
times
got
we
enough
almost
boating
died.
experience. I ruled that out right away. That we were not going to go that route. But our plan is, answering that, yes, that is one of our big plans with it. That's why we want to go with the solar to have everything self-contained.
Oh, I did find a boat.
Was being able to, hold on, let me finish this one first. Is being able to go out and moor. Which, for those of you who don't understand what that term means, is we're going to anchor out somewhere.
Do you want chicken bacteria?
It would be better than a bleached shirt that I got now. So the idea is to anchor out somewhere, and we'll have a little dinghy, little small boat that we can go to and from up onto the docks. And, you know, a lot of times they have spots where it's free to pull that up. But if not, you're going to pay a lot less on a 6 or 8 foot dinghy than you are on a 40-foot
My hands
boat.
are wet.
Because they always, the docking fees always charge you by the foot.
We'll have to pull into a dock and pay for dock fees for when we have, to empty the black tank.
Well,
No
no. So a lot of those, you pay a pump out fee. We're not paying a dock fee. You pay a pump out fee when you go in to get fuel. So at their fuel dock, they also, not every one of them, but a vast majority of the marinas have the option of, hey, do you want a pump out service? Because you're a boat in the water, right? So you can't just pull up to a spot and pull the lever out, like an RV. They actually have to come in and have a big vacuum suck truck, and there's an outlet on your boat up on the top deck somewhere that they shove that down in there and it vacuums it out, and it's, that's why they call it a pump out. And that normally can happen at most fuel docks. So we wouldn't be, the only time I really see is if there's a major maintenance issue, is kind of my thought of having to dock. And we need to be in that space because we're going to be running back and forth to town to get parts or something like that, where maybe, it's not going to be as efficient on the dinghy.
We might do dock fees once or twice a week.
Yeah.
We're trying to really...
Full displacement would be the way to go. That's what it is, the full displacement for the big crossing, we're looking in Tennessee at rentals. Oh, doing the rentals in Tennessee,
Yeah, so my dad lives on Norris Lake. Well, actually, he used to have a place on Norris, but he doesn't live on Norris Lake anymore. It's just right around the corner. And we did look at boats there because we can get to the loop. So that's also a distinct possibility. But the houseboats on North Lake, pricey.
Yeah.
Very pricey.
Flat bottoms are so much fun in the waves, though. During the big crowd, you can go 3 miles out. No, boom. Yeah, and there is that, right? You can go out. Now, if your boat has that option, there are some of the boats, like, and that's something we have to look into also when watching on some of these boats, is some of these older boats, their facilities never had a holding tank. It just dumps out. And yeah, you've got to be 3 miles out in the ocean before you can actually do a raw dump like that. Which we're not a super huge fan of. I mean, I get it. It disseminates, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, our boat, whether we have to put it on there somehow, preferably they'll have them already, is, I don't remember what year. There was a year that it finally did come out that they started mandating holding tanks, just like an RV, where all your wastewater goes into there and doesn't just dump out the side of the boat. So there's Shorehanded, there's Melvin Donnie, it's Shorehanded Homestead. Good morning, good morning.
Hi.
Yeah, we're just doing some.
I'm making fermented hot sauce right now with some peppers. And you have to use frozen and fresh. So I think I'm only gonna do a quart of mash. So
I was gonna say, I thought so you're doing that with some and then the others we're gonna freeze dry.
yeah.
Okay.
But I knew that with the harvest wrapping low, I wasn't gonna do a half gallon of fermentation. So
The way you go through hot sauce, you should probably do 2
I know.
gallons.
and I'm out.
Right. So yeah, there's a lot to look into. Luckily, we joined the AG
LCA last year.
last year, which actually I need to call them and renew our annual membership. But yeah, because it gives you a lot of resources and a lot of the questions that people would have, like they're already answered because it's a whole group of loopers and it's a network that you get to be part of. That hey, if you have questions and I mean it's super cool enough that you get a personal phone call from their administration to welcome you in when they did the renewal, which like I said, I've got to call her back. Like the lady called me, left a voicemail, was like, hey, call me back, we'll get it all set up. And so, there's so many resources within that group for this that...
If you got a question about the loop, they're
Yeah.
gonna have it. Oh, I didn't realize I had that building pressure.
Sorry, I was busy listening. Also, I've checked out the site, Right Boat. I think that is where... We haven't looked... We've looked at a few...
What, Boat Trader?
Like Boat Trader, that kind of
Oh, yeah.
stuff. It's like buying a car almost, guys, though.
But
There's
there's also-
900
yeah.
sources. I'm
And-
trying to find it. And the Great Loop, they have their own classifieds. Yeah, it's just... We've been trying to look at every source that we could come up with or find. I mean, that's another one. I don't know that I've looked at Right Boat.
Yeah, and then there's...
What Big Waves say, most boats past the early 70s have emaciator holding tanks.
That's true.
Yeah, and then that way you can do the pump out.
There's also Angel Boats. Angel Boats is where people that don't want to take care of their boats anymore, they're done with their boats, they donate them to Angel Boats, and then Angel Boats auctions them off, and then all proceeds go to benefit whatever. So I know there's a veterans organization. They take donor boats, but they don't resell donor boats. So that's not an option for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of different options for us. I just think and pray at the time that we're ready, that perfect boat is going to appear.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and giving ourselves, basically, I mean, at this point, it's looking at timeline like a year and a half yet, right around there. Giving us that time to actually look and find the boat, like, it's not something that, we can't go buy it tomorrow anyways. But it's getting an idea, kind of like when we were looking for land, was, hey, we came down knowing, hey, we're not buying today, and we're not buying tomorrow, but what area do we want to be in?
Which is also why we don't want to waste anyone's time by like setting up a time to go look at a boat. That's just wasting somebody's time.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, there's certain ones that we've looked at and was like, hey, you know what? If you know, we've got kind of a little bit of a price range right now. That hey, okay, if it's in this price range, if it meets all the little ideas in our head, and we're like, we have to go look at this one. This is something, you know, then we're not gonna rule that one out. But right now, it's just kind of getting an idea of where to look and what we're looking for. And also, by actively looking, we'll know when it is time to buy the boat, whether we're overpaying or underpaying. Getting surveys is a big thing,
That's
especially
usually the
for
buyer's
these ones.
expense.
And
Each survey can run $800 to $1,000 depending on the length.
oh yeah, they automatically say to put like $1,200 just in survey, and that's only the hull survey, and then you got to pay another $600-800 and have engine surveys done, and a lot of it is for insurance, right? You know, if you want your boat insured, then you've got to have surveys done on it. But then also our own insurance of, are we buying something that's worth fixing up, or is it fixable? And if it's fixable, then can we get it insured? And by getting a survey done tells us that. Because there's a lot of things, especially on boats, that in the freezer, there's a lot of things with the boats that they'll look great, right? Some paint and silicone will hide a lot, and then you get into it and find out that the whole hull. That was something that we've actually seen here recently. Was looking at some of the metal boats, whether they're steel or they're aluminum. They actually have little meters and stuff that can actually measure the thickness of that metal. Because on the outside, if they ground it down and then paint it over it,
Might not know it.
but if it's super paper thin, and it's supposed to be, you know, an 1/8 inch thick,
Look
and
at
it's
that
only
clove. Hold that up there close.
um,
That thing's massive. Check it out. Grown right here on the ridge.
and that's stuff that, you know, we're not gonna go buy that equipment to be able to perform those tests when there's people that can do it.
Right. So we'll have some money and some survey fees, unless we already know this is a boat that needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
So,
But at the same time, you're not gonna really buy land and not have it surveyed either, right?
right.
You know, that was part of our contract when we bought this land was, hey, I want it surveyed. And so
And if you didn't know, and
we need
this
to
might,
tell.
this might be someone, you know, that's newer to us. This isn't a pipe dream we just came up with, guys.
Why
Actually,
is it
Jason
like
and I
that?
did the math because I need to poly it. The poly's gotten old. The loop is something we've already been talking about, planning on doing for over 5 years. So we've had 5 years to educate ourselves on a lot of things. So we're not going into it blindly. We're not going into it willy-nilly. The only difference is we've moved up the timeline from 3 years to 1.
Yeah. So Big Wave says, yeah, in my opinion, it's better to find the boat in person. Boat trader and the like are just middleman brokers.
Yep.
You save thousands. Oh, right, and that was something too. Going with the whole survey thing, right?
You see that? I mean, come on.
If
That
you-
is a clove. I mean, I'm so proud of my darn. That's Tennessee garlic right there.
If you do find a boat through a broker, don't trust the broker surveyor because they're obviously working together. Is get your own surveyor to come out and do it. And yes, finding a boat on our own. I mean, we found our property on our own. So, Wright Boat has a 1988 President 35 double cabin currently for $67,500.
Yep.
That is amazing price. Just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, presidentials are great. I've looked at presidentials. They're just outside our price range.
Pay the survey for sure.
We're looking to do this at a price that anyone can do. We're the hillbilly loopers. We're not millionaires. We have no rich relatives that are going to leave us a huge inheritance. We're not winning the lottery tomorrow. We are just following a dream. And as much as it would be great to have a presidential, not in our price range. We're doing the everyday loop for everyday people. So it's got to be something that, with a 5-year plan, anyone is going to be able to achieve.
Well, that's awesome, Helen. Shiloh got some boxes ready to drop off at the Veterans of America for
Nice.
donation. And
We like that store.
sorry to hear your cousin's fighting cancer, but at least you can stay with y'all for a little while. Yeah, survey's a must even if folks say the boat is in perfect condition.
Yep.
Right, because boats are very, boats are easier to kind of hide things that you don't know about, right? You could paint or throw a board over it, and unless you
Because of
pull all
that
that kind of stuff back, you don't know some of the underlying issues with it. So, Paul says, Tara, that's not a clove at all. That's a side for my steak and eggs. That garlic would have done me a week of dinners.
Oh yeah.
And then sending out prayers, for Helen and the family with her cousin. So
I didn't want to ruin the whole clove, but
yeah. So there's a lot of things that we've been kind of learning about the process ourselves and prepping for doing that and getting the boat checked out and whatnot.
and narrowing down the boat.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning when we first started talking about doing the boat, there was a lot of boats where we would have been like, heck yeah, let's go. And then now that we know a little bit more after 5 years of research, we're like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't do it with that boat. So it's just learning and taking that time to educate yourself.
Yeah, and like she said, we're not just jumping into this willy-nilly. We've been looking into this and thinking about this for the last 5-6 years now. And, we've still got a year and a half before we plan on, really pulling the trigger to buy a boat.
Or
And-
sooner, it just depends. Like I have a budget already set aside for how much we're going to be saving each month. If we by chance end up finding a boat, hi, we're getting all close and personal. Or as my husband says, I'm getting up in your bubble. If we already have so much accumulated and the perfect boat pops up, heck yeah, I'm there. But we also want to be smart about how that's actually working. Okay, I'm going to mix this. Here we go.
Yes, my wife is a special lady. I appreciate you saying that.
Aw, thank you.
So, I don't know how to say that name. Janet Easterly? Okay. Absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan. We still got, everything's air fried and in the crock pot, so we'll be having some wings for dinner, and now she's going to be noisy with the grinder to make her.
I need a weight. That's one thing I forgot to grab. I think there's a weight up there. If not, there's one out in the summer kitchen.
Oh, the glass.
Yeah.
Oh, right here's one.
And grab me that other lid. Because this lid broke. They're not the best quality. I will go to Amazon special.
Well, that one, I think, was from one that we accidentally left the jar outside and stuff. So, Helen, if I come across anything, I'll follow it and see if there's anything in the spring.
Oh, I have tons of boats saved.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now, according to, if you listen to the powers that be or the professionals, they tell you that the trawler market is crashing and boats are going to be, la-da-da. So, we're just kind of watching.
Well, and it's crashing because a lot of it falls under insurance issues. They built all these trawlers, right? These Taiwan trawlers, because they were all made over there or brought over in the 80s, and now they're getting aged out of the insurance system, and that's where a lot of people are starting to offload them, because if you can't insure it, then you don't necessarily want it sitting there, and that's also an option, right? It's not mandatory to insure your boat, but like in our case, where it's like, hey, we're going to be living on it, and we're going to have a lot of money wrapped up into the boat, but then the stuff that we have on the boat of outfitting it and whatnot, if something was to happen to that, that'd take a hit in the pocketbook. And truth be told, we're not going to be far enough out from land at any given point, not initially, that it's that huge of a scare that, hey, we can't, jump on the dinghy and get ourselves to somewhere safe. And yeah, it would suck to lose all that, but we know our lives will be saved and we can move on. So I'd like to be able to have a boat that we can insure just for that reason, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's a responsibility that you got to accept that.
Well, we'll have coverage for in case we cause an accident. That would cover someone else's boat.
Well, but it's being able to get, and that's where going back to it. Basically, that's why a lot of the videos that have popped up, if you guys have seen any of those too, that are saying, these boats are no good, they're unsellable. Well, it's only unsellable because insurance companies most of them, they're only going to write a policy on a boat that's only, certain amount of age. So that's where it is. Paul's talking about, if you want to see a struggle with the aluminum boats, check out Ambition Strikes. We do watch them, Paul. They bought a retired Coast Guard boat, and he's still sorting out all the metal on it. They're the ones that bought the big barge, and and that's the thing is you can find that dude always finds some pretty cool stuff on auction, super cheap, and but until you dig into them and find out, hey, there's thin spots, and then. Like for me, I'm not against learning the ability to weld. Like I can weld some basic steel kind of stuff together, but then you talk about trying to get into doing the aluminum and then it's going to be a structural thing. So that's something that I'm not going to trust myself to do.
I'm zeroing out my scales with my funnel and my jar.
Janita Easterly. Okay. Welcome in.
Hi.
Let's see. Helen says, my dad worked at the gravel pit next to Sea Ray boats before moving the plant to Tennessee, and man, it stunk. I bet the plant did with all the chemicals and stuff, and they're doing the moldings. There's Daryl. Good to see you in here. Not your daddy. Always good to have you in here, brother. He's getting ready for his next adventure too.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things to look at.
Some of the frozen ones didn't chop.
A lot of people automatically think, I bought an aluminum boat. They don't corrode. They don't ever rust. It still corrodes. Issues. That was weird. Why did it just say?
What? Says we're still live.
Well, it just came back and said you're live. I don't know. Internet must have had a glitch.
Did we time out?
So.
I'm just gonna pack all this pepper goodness.
No, it's still going. Okay.
Into a jar.
Now you're doing your fermenting of.
Yep, I'm gonna ferment hot sauce.
That even smells spicy.
I know.
No, okay. Well, they said we're okay. Dropped for a second. I don't know. I just happened to look up at the phone and it came back and you're live. And I'm like, I thought we were live this whole time. So
you want to pack it in.
Probably an internet glitch. Oh, you're going to wear that?
I've got my gloves on. I'm going to pack it down. So I want to get all this into one jar. I was in my brain estimating my amounts to fit in my quart jar.
So Janita,
Juanita?
Janita? Okay, I'm gonna just keep butchering that. So, I'm 74 and she is doing the things in the kitchen that remind me of my mother, always caring for the family and doing what she loves. Yes.
Yep.
It was the hourly stop and go. Is that what it was? Oh, I guess it is.
I do hear that a lot, that a lot of the things I do reminds them of their childhood with their grandma, grandpas, or moms. But that was the beauty. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? I did not have a great relationship with my mother when she was alive, even as a child. So my grandparents were always where I was at until my mom died before I went to foster care. So fortunately, I say it was a double-edged sword because my mom and papa taught me so much between going through the war and the depression and, just all the stuff, right? Just all the things that might have gotten skipped in Generation X. And things weren't passed down because we were latchkey kids. Just all the things.
Well, that and things became more, like when you look at your grandparents, right, their generation, they didn't always have the option to go into the grocery store to buy things. So what they ate and then it was everything that they could grow and do it on their land. And that's how they ate and traded with their neighbors of what they could do. So Nancy says, wow, I've never seen a garlic that big.
Well, I know, right? That was only a 2-year clove from my garlic from my family in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. So
garlic is definitely something that we've managed nonchalantly, though, right?
To do so well.
With little to no effort, and sometimes no effort at all, it just grows. And mostly the native soil, like we mix it up with some other stuff to kind of let the roots go, but then like this year, well, you did end up planting some extra garlic in it this year, but
Mm-hmm.
it was already pretty established just for stuff that we didn't realize we had missed from last year. We thought we had dug them all up, and gonna be curious too because we have the peanuts growing. So
I know, I'm excited for the peanuts.
gonna be interested to see when those are gonna be ready to pick.
Okay, now I need your guys' help because we're using my phone and I'm horrible at math. I need to know what 3% of 580 is. So 580, I need 3% of that. Put in the comments. Whoever gets that first one gets a sticky star. Because I'm horrible at math.
Oh, there's Sister Bert coming in. Good
Hi,
to
Bert.
see you, sis. Helen says, oh yeah, I was very blessed. We had Grandpa until 95 and my Grandma until 99.
Yeah.
So much was learned from them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And see, my family was a lot of the opposite, where I don't really remember, like my grandparents themselves,
I hate these things.
they were just buy everything from the grocery store, right? They weren't the ones that were growing and doing all that kind of stuff. Now, I did have grandma on my stepmom's side, like my stepmom's mom had done a lot of the home baking and cooking, and that was my first exposure to it, was any kind of home cooking. Was because everything that we had growing up was, so it's kind of fun. So Big Wave says 13, it said 15, I mean. So 15?
So 3% of 580 is, that seems small. But that could be right. It could be right. I definitely don't know, but let's find out.
Okay, so
I'll know more about Evolin.
580 times, what, 0.03, right?
What'd they say?
You said 580.
580, I need 3%.
3% would be 17.4. All I had to do was minimize that screen and pull up the calculator. I don't know why I didn't think about
Okay.
that the first time. All right, Emma, appreciate you. She's got to go do tea time for everybody. So
Nice.
appreciate you. Yep, Hunt and Holler said 17.4 there.
So do
There's over
I
600
test out how
types of
hot this
garlic.
is? Because I can definitely see a habanero on there. I don't want to lose that good old habanero.
There's-
But I am going to touch my tongue to this because I want to know. Wait, there's more habanero. I only had like one habanero and I don't want to lose any of my habanero. I don't know what all the other ones were. There was some Thais, there was some, all that other. Okay, we ready for that? Oh my. I gotta spit that out. That's hot. That's gonna be good. That is gonna be so yummy. Whoa! Woohoo!
Deborah says there are over 600 types of garlic. My son has grown 9 different, and now he's down to 5 different garlics that we sell at the farmer's market. 600 types of garlic. Wow.
Alright, so we're gonna put that salt in there.
Yeah, sorry, I thought she said 500, so my answer was incorrect. That's all right.
That's alright. That's
We're
why
good.
I always double check.
Well, and like I said, I didn't think about it at first, and
Oh, my mouth is watering, one out of heat, but also out of flavor. Holy cow.
Darrow says I was adopted by June and Ward Cleaver. I'm part Eddie Haskell and part Lumpy Rutherford.
I can see that. I could definitely see that.
Used to make it a
Oh.
church peanut brittle. Nice.
Oh, I love making peanut brittle. I've been
Oh, yeah.
craving that actually. Definitely craving that.
That's why I'm excited for the homemade peanut butter, because I eat a lot of peanut butter.
I just hope the peanuts actually.
Develop into peanuts.
Yeah. So I got some filtered water here.
Yeah, we did find out with what was it? We were doing something that we had found out that trying to do it, we had to use either bottled or filtered water for some of the fermenting and that kind of stuff, because just regular tap water, which we're on a well, but it has too much of something or other. I don't know. There's science in it.
Oh no, that's fine.
Just got back from taking the fur babies for a walk. Sorry I was late, Sister Bert.
No,
You ain't late.
you're
We're
fine.
still going. We're just rambling. We're just doing, stuff over
I had a
here.
lot of kitchen chores to do, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be in the kitchen. I might as well just take you along with me. So
Making some Jason's not gonna touch sauce.
that is already bubbling. My mouth is watering.
Sister Bert says they grew up with a big garden. I heard stories about it, but that was all kind of done by the time I come around. You got to put your thingy bobber in there.
I know, but I have to make sure that the water line. This is where it gets a little messy.
You're gonna overfill it.
I probably will.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Ah. Oh, it smells so good.
I wouldn't.
I can't believe it's bubbling
I wouldn't,
already.
Sister Bert's loving that electric chair. Good. I'm glad it's getting you out more and letting you take the fur babies for a walk and getting some of that,
Okay.
you know, sunshine and.
I'm gonna put my little doodaddy on top. Stick.
Why are you putting water in there?
So the water helps create a watertight vacuum, but will still allow the air bubbles from the gases that it works with when it ferments. So this is basically a burper.
So it's farting.
Yes. And then this has
Fermenting
little
it.
holes.
Fermenting is farting. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, no, fermenting is fermenting. Off-gassing is burping, farting if you want. So
She's fermenting some hot peppers to make hot sauce.
Yep. So in about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll test the pH on this and either go longer, or if it's ready, then I can blend it more with my immersion blender and then sift it all out and add a little bit of more spices to it, add a little bit of vinegar, because I like the vinegar kick, even in the fermentation process. And then strain it into bottles, and we got ourselves some hot sauce. And you guys helped me make it. Yeah.
Well, and this is the first time you're fermenting for the hot sauce.
Right. I've always made
Yeah.
my hot sauce just straight away. Straight away.
We haven't burned.
And it was
that.
actually Mike at 3 Mississippi, because we were talking smack with each other about our hot sauces, right? Well, you know how us homesteaders do. So we were talking smack about our hot sauces. And anyway, he got into, have you ever fermented your hot sauces? And I was like, no, I haven't. And so I need to check. Maybe you guys know and I don't, because I've been so lax and watching everybody. Don't tell Mike that I'm fermenting this hot sauce, because I want bragging rights if he hasn't already done it first. A little old homestead.
You gotta have the banter life.
Don't tell, but I'm gonna have to figure out whether or not. And so, this is my challenge. Because actually, I need to get with Sid, but we're also supposed to be planning a vacation with Mike and Sid. So, I don't know what that is gonna look like. Whether we talked about meeting halfway, talked about going to an all-inclusive, talked about going on another cruise, blah blah blah. So, but yeah, I don't want him to know I'm fermenting the hot sauce, because I want bragging rights. So we'll see, but it's already smelling and flavoring and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, guys, so pizza dough is rising. We've done sourdough pizza crust. We have done breakfast. We have done hot wings. We have done hot sauce. We have prepped rice for the freeze dryer.
I found a cushion for my butt and
Let me
sat
look
here.
at my list of things. Breakfast wings. Okay. That's actually everything I had on my kitchen list this morning. So
Helen says, my luck, that thing would go shooting out of the jar and break a window.
the only thing I'm not sure about is when I make homemade sauerkraut, I have to put it in a dark place to ferment. So that is one thing I need to look at and see if this can just be out, or whether I need.
The one thing
Need to
that
go
I've
into the
seen,
dark.
no, it needs to go in the.
That's a pepper.
It needs to be in the cool dark place or whatever. So you can put it down in the cabin.
That was a tie.
The one guy I was watching the video doing it, yeah,
Ooh.
he had them in like a pantry room that was dark.
Gosh, so good. And I have a bottom lower cabinet down here. Then I have a space and a towel and everything ready for my fermentation counter.
Yeah. Because that was the big thing, was not getting the direct sunlight.
Yep.
So
So that'll go in there. I'll check it. You need to make sure that your weight stays above.
yeah,
That was a hot one.
yeah,
Yep, a little
good
bit.
for you.
you need to make sure the weight stays
You want this
above
other
the food.
stool?
And then you need to
Oh,
make sure that there
That's
stays
about to
water
be a
in the
thing.
chamber.
I don't want to move any further.
Oh.
We're
Yeah.
about-
I thought about making ketchup this morning, but I think I'm done because I've got to go edit. I've got to just whip myself in the butt and edit. I've had so many other things that just haven't, so I need to go edit.
Now I'm gonna throw on my headphones and go do some weed whipping. Laugh at her some more. The best part is like right now watching her sniffle and do all that, but then later on, I'll know she's going to the bathroom because you'll hear the screaming in there. Like,
Oh, whatever.
oh yeah.
I ate a bunch of jalapenos yesterday.
It's. I mean, I can't eat hot, spicy stuff. It tears my stomach up. But it's even more reason not to. So,
Yep. But thank
Nancy
you guys.
says, "Yep, that was fun, guys. Have a great day." Well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you,
Yeah,
every
we
single
appreciate
one
it.
of you
Yeah.
that been in and out of here today. We didn't know what we were gonna
It's
do.
unhinged. We're gonna do
Yeah.
whatever we wanted to do. I
Um,
didn't feel like filming a cooking video.
And we've been wanting to do this, but it's also like other projects have been so pending that we're like, man, we're on a timeline. And we've kind of talked about that on the main channel a little bit with our lives of how do we change it up a little bit, which we love doing Homestead Hangout and having that set time. It is amazing. But there's times that we just want to talk longer. How do we do that? And that's where, Unhinged comes in.
Yep.
And it's being a smaller channel, and then there's still the same amount of you guys coming in here to watch the live, but then we get to address comments a lot easier and see everybody and have that. So yeah,
That sourdough starter's already bumping right
Bert
up.
says my nose is running watching you.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't let no pepper go to waste.
so absolutely, everybody have an amazing week. Tonight at 8 o'clock Central, Big Mike and I from MT Homestead have Sergeant's Talk TV. That'll be. I'll end up sharing the links out, but also if you go to MT Homes or go to Sergeant's Talk TV, the YouTube channel, we'll be doing our live from there at 8 o'clock Central tonight. We'd love to have you there. Have all your veteran friends, and
And I need to get your guys' opinion. Hold on, I need more tea.
there was something else I had.
I can't even see me there. I look just atrocious. Sorry, I didn't even put myself together this morning. If we do this again, what are some things you guys want to see me do? It could be anything. Yeah, I can just walk you through it. I'm definitely loving trying to force myself into the cookbook thoughts. So working on that. Obviously, clearly that's not as high of a hydration as I want in my pizza crust. So I don't know. We're gonna see how that goes. But I would have preferred a higher hydration. I don't know where I screwed up on that because normally I nail that, but normally I just throw in. That was my problem. So thank you guys. Put it down in the comments or send an email of things you guys want to see me cook or throw together. Today wasn't just any one thing. I had to multitask, which is pretty much every day in my kitchen. Why he isn't usually in here when I do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing 100 different things at the same time.
Shoved me in the corner. I was in the safe zone. You guys seen it. I didn't get in the way once.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
We'll see you in the next one. Dot bud. A dot bud.